What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This is going to be a quick rant thoughts video on Tyson Fury and Francis Ngannou. They recently got into like a little Twitter beef, social media beef. Tyson Fury basically implying that he would wax Ngannou next. Like, I would imagine in a boxing match. That's what he's talking about, I think. Ngannou naturally didn't care for the comments, fired back himself. So I got some thoughts on a boxing match and a mixed martial arts fight. So let's get into it. Let's not waste any time. Tyson Fury versus Francis Ngannou in a straight boxing match. Who wins that? I will tell you now. Tyson Fury. There's no doubt in my mind that 8 times out of 10 in a straight boxing match, Tyson Fury owns Francis Ngannou. Now, this is why I say that. Even though there's some similarities between MMA and boxing, some of the conditioning is similar. Obviously, there's striking involved in both sports. They're two very different things at the same time. The conditioning is a little bit different for boxing because you primarily use your shoulders and arms. There's clinching, but you don't really get big rest gaps like how you have in MMA. If you can grapple, if you can get a guy against the cage. So for the most part, you're standing, moving, striking, lactic acid in those shoulders and those arms in boxing, and it's just pretty much nonstop. Conor McGregor learned that the hard way. It's a little bit of a different pace. The distancing, the defense is different. And Tyson Fury is flat out a master of boxing, multi-time world champion. So like with Francis, physical specimen, I say that Tyson will win that fight or boxing match 8 times out of 10. Not 10 out of 10 because there's always a chance. There's no such thing as zero chance. And with a freak like Ngannou, when it comes to any kind of striking, he always has a shot to win. He just has to land on you clean. But I don't see that happening against Tyson Fury. He moves too well. He's too accustomed to the boxing movements, the tricks, just everything that encompasses a great boxer. Tyson Fury's pretty much that. And it's crazy because he's so big, but he moves so well. So more often than not, Fury's gonna box Ngannou's head off. Barring a big shot from Francis, like I said, kind of unlikely to happen. Tyson Fury has went against big punchers, professional experienced boxers and came out on top. So, let's move on to MMA, a mixed martial arts fight where you can use all of your tools as a combat athlete. Who would win that fight? Francis Ngannou. And it would be like 9 times out of 10. And I think it would be even more dominant on Ngannou's side. So many ways Ngannou could win that fight. And it's not a boxing match, it's a fight. The closest thing to a real fight, that you can get with MMA. So it's the same thing in reverse. The cardio and conditioning, different in MMA. Once Ngannou starts clinching, if he goes that route or initiates grappling, first of all, Tyson Fury would hit the mat. I mean, Francis isn't known to be this great wrestler, but he does have wrestling skill. He does work on it. We saw he took Stipe down, and Fury, he basically would have no chance of keeping it on the feet. Not to mention, he would be gassed out within a minute or two. Grappling cardio, for those of you guys who've been in the gym, you've trained, competed, whether it's MMA or BJJ, grappling cardio is a different thing than striking. Wrestlers know this. I also wrestled in high school. I found out early on how important, conditioning is when it comes to grappling. And I mean, Fury could train for give him a year. If you give him a year of takedown defense, he would fare a lot better. But it's going to take a really long time for him to get that type of conditioning and to really learn grappling. So, I mean, the cardio and conditioning is going to get him as far as grappling and the adjustments for MMA. not to mention leg kicks, body kicks, head kicks. The muscle memory, the training, the knowledge just isn't there to deal with all that. Knees, clinching, tie plum, throws, submissions, elbows, the cage itself. The cage can be used as a weapon. You know, guys like to box other guys in against the cage, wedge them in. Wedge, I mean like on the mat once they get them down, which I don't even think NGannou would need that. But the cage itself is an adjustment. The gloves, glove size, the defense would be a lot different. Even though in boxing, Fury, he doesn't really cover up in his defense. His defense is reminiscent of like Muhammad Ali, where it's a lot of head movement and just movement in general. So in that sense, he would transition pretty well as far as like the defense with striking with the France gloves, but it still would be different. So that's another thing. Yeah, not to drag this out, guys. Fury schools NGannou in boxing, and Francis Ngannou destroys Tyson Fury in MMA, where it wouldn't even be fun to watch. It would be pretty crazy if these guys do one apiece. I think Fury has been open to that in the past. I think he's crazy enough to actually do that. Kind of like a freak show thing. We've seen it in the past with James Toney, but Randy didn't box Tony afterwards. Yeah, guys, I don't know what else to say. Let me know in the comment section, what do you think about this little beef going on? Do you think these guys are gonna match up either in boxing or in MMA or both? And if they do, who do you think wins in either boxing or MMA? Would love to read your thoughts. Thanks for watching, guys. If this is your first time at the channel, consider hitting that sub button, like and share as it helps the channel grow. Appreciate it, guys, so much. And until the next video, you all take care.